it's been some time, but I have a new story called Creaks. It's a bit different than the previous ones, but I hope that you will enjoy it all the same. It was in the middle of winter, and that night was like any other. As I lied awake, struggling to sleep without the warmth of my loving wife. She had passed away not 2 weeks ago, and since then, I'd barely got a wink of sleep. I would go to bed at the same time which I had done for the past 5 years, and just lay there, with my eyes closed ever so gently. I would check the clock, it would seem every hour. Check it to see if I had slept at all. It was 3 a.m. when I heard the first creak. I thought nothing of it as I tried to sleep, but the creak slowly got closer with a short pause between. I began to grow suspicious, but the creaks were too quiet for someone to be walking up my stairs, I thought. It was the pipes. Yes, that was it. The heating must be coming on, so I lied back down as I tried to sleep. The creaks kept on coming as they got closer and louder. Then I heard a slight knock upon my bedroom door. I sat halfway up as I stared at the door. I was ready to pounce if someone were to come in. But the creaks had stopped, and only silence filled my room. I continued to stare, expecting something to happen, but nothing did. Then I heard humming on the other side of my door. I slowly got out of bed, trying desperately not to make a sound. I pressed my ear upon my bedroom door. The humming echoed throughout the hall. Not knowing where it was coming from, I slowly opened the door, just enough to be able to peek into the hall. It was all I needed. For some reason, my bathroom light had been left on, even though I was certain that I had turned it off. And this humming, it could not be in my head. So I went to investigate to put my mind at ease. Continued to move slowly as if I were a thief. With every step, the humming got louder, and the tune, it seemed so familiar, but I could not name the song. I had reached the bathroom, and the door was ajar. The humming was definitely coming from this room. I pushed the door gently, and to my surprise, a shadowy figure was standing in my tub. The shower curtain was pulled round so I could not see who it was, but one hand began to raise, holding what seemed to be a knife. Butterflies filled my stomach as I stood there frozen, just staring as the knife pierced the curtain. Not caring whom it was, I knew I had to run as I feared for my life. I ran to the stairs and began to go down them. I was about halfway down when I missed a step and fell to the bottom, landing on my back. I didn't notice the pain, for the person was still humming. Were they mocking me by being so calm, as I was in terror and they didn't break their tune? I looked up the stairs as I picked myself up, and they were just standing at the top. And as they began to descend them, it was almost like they were floating. I watched the shadowy figure as it came down 3 or 4 steps. I was struck with fear, and leaving the house was all that was on my mind, with the back door being the closest and no time for rational thinking. I just knew I had to get out. So that's where I headed, and in no time at all I had reached the back door. I went to open it, forgetting it was locked. I hadn't been out there since the passing of my wife. I turned to look as I was grabbed the keys off the hook. The shadowy figure was just a few steps behind, still humming that familiar tune. I unlocked the door with incredible ease, despite how much I was shaking. The whole time I was repeatedly saying, "Don't drop the key." I bolted into the garden and ran straight onto the grass. It was not even 4 steps before I lost my footing and fell on my face. I turned back to look, only to see the shadowy figure standing right on top of me. I let out a shriek as I rose up in bed. It had all been a nightmare, I thought, as I turned to sit on the side of my bed. I buried my head into my hands, only to feel a rough sensation across my face. I moved my head back, ever so slowly, to see all this mud just on my hands, nor was it just mud, but all over my t-shirt were stains of blood. Well, I do hope that you enjoyed the story called Creaks, and that you will come back to hear another one. You're probably asking the question, where the hell have you been? Oh, yeah. What are you doing? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? She sells seashells on the seashore.